Welcome to the Vault. My name is Miatog, and this is Let's Play Side Project Stanley Parable. We've already gotten two endings out of the way, two of the easiest, well, most logical ones, I'll say. The, obey everything and the disobey everything. So, there was a path I wanted to go down. I saw it during the first video, and I want to see what happens to be down that path. I started down it, and then I was told to walk away from it because, well, that path had horrible death. So, let's find out what's down the horrible death path, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and cut away till we get there, because there's no need for you to see all of the stuff you've already seen. And we're back. I either cut away or I chipmunk. I had the thought in my head partway through that I might want to chipmunk that. We'll just have to see what I did when I get around to editing. But there's the continuing to obey path, and I want to go down escape. I want to see what's down here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yay, violent death! We all want to see Stanley meet a violent death, don't we?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, thank you. I'm going to go down.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yay! Who doesn't want to confront their death? Wow, long call. Hoop! Alright, Death. What do you have for me? You have a loading screen that truly is a horribly violent death. Loading. I can't imagine how. Whoa! Ow! How am I not dead? How did I not kill?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was a loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this.
No, I'm not willingly accepting this.
Life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator.
Wait, what?
As Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Ah. There? I wasn't horribly killed.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Okay.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Okay. Huh. A selection of paintings that we see in there. Huh. Look at that. It's the credits. Credit people. Credit people. Credit people. Office computers. It's a museum of the props. Button sounds. Cute. Look, it's a desk. The two doors. Huh. Oh. Right, because we came up this way, and then there's the two doors. The set of 2 doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Filing cabinets. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. Office layout. The blueprints show the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the 2 doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. And that's our office. That's Stanley's office. So, I apparently found a museum to the game? I'm not entirely sure what I found here. Boss's office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Wow, that's a really bare office. That's starting to look more office-y. That's not that different from the other one. And yet that looks extremely office-y. Amazing what a piece of wallpaper does. Office clock. Is that the actual time? No, it's not. Okay. Employee lounge. Oh, yeah, from the Disobey. Underground. I like what they did with escape better here than there, labeling it like that. No, it's better for it to have been scrawled on. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting.
Possible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad is. Stanley pushed the sense. You'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it.
Oh, it's kind of hard to hear any of that. I might need to take an effort to try and pick up on that specifically later. Maybe in a side video. Freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Countdown desk. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. I wonder what the countdown ending is. Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending as it existed in beta. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in a monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead. Interesting. Countdown room. An early version of the countdown room. Oh, that place. Huh. I don't know what that is. That says exit. I want to keep exploring this. I got plenty of time in here anyways. Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the game designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. Oh, actually I can see it. I think that's the first room. First place where we find all the empty office chairs. Wow, there's a lot in here. Oh, it's Stanley's office. Different iterations of it, apparently. Stanley's office, from left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created November 2011, the second in March 2012, and the third in February 2013. So, this was November 11, and then this was March 12, and February 13. This would be the one as it is today. This is neat! Narrator emails. After the second trailer, we sent out... Blah, blah, blah. I swear I can read. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. Ah! Will playing the Stanley Parable help me make friends? I don't have any friends. Aww. A question brought forth by the... Oh. Gay! You are... Are you gay? Wow, okay. What deep probing, question there. Partner, I am Anthony Ellis, business bro. Spam. What do the lights in the control room do? I really want to know. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna move on. That's definitely a video in and of itself, just sitting there for like an hour. Pick 'em up. These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD remix. More endings, fewer endings. More narrators, fewer narrators. More Stanley, less Stanley. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to win. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was the clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to luge. Wow. Words. Larger. I can't see the images because of all this text. If someone could just get rid of the text, maybe then I could see what the game is about. Green light. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. Fortunately, it's not hard to get the community's approval. Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. The office. And okay, that's everything. I'm gonna go, I'll go exit now. That should be everything. Oh! Nope, missed one. What the? That looks like Tron. In early development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who liked shooters, which was not our intention. Okay. Well, that certainly would have been funny, but can't really argue with their logic for not using it. Alright, looks like that's everything in here, so exit. Now.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
These two? Who? Who's she talking about?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Who?
No. perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Were you talking about, lady? Oh,
Listen
I
to me.
start seeing that.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Ooh! I heard that squish. Is that it? Is that the end of this one? Click. Escape. The game is now paused. I'm not sure if that's the end or not. Well, if this turns out to not be the end, probably being chipmunked right now, but this is starting to feel like the end. It's been stuck like this for a while now. So I'm going to assume that this is the end of the Stanley, of this particular ending for Stanley Parable. That was certainly a very interesting one, and I'm certainly glad I didn't go through that one first. Kind of odd that they had that escape path so easily found. Kind of feels like this should have been one of the better hidden ones. I mean, why would you want to find the credits? If I wasn't recording, that would have been the first ending I found. But, oh well, as it is... Looks like I've finished my third ending for Stanley Parable, this time with no achievement attached to it. But for now, this is Miatog signing out and wishing you all a good day. God bless you.